So as many of you guys do know, it's officially been 1 week since Playboi Carti has dropped his latest album, Music. 1 week ago, Music dropped today. The numbers have officially came in and they are looking nuts. So let's talk about it. So the first week numbers are in and Carti sold 302K first week. This is insane. As you guys can see, this is the biggest debut for a rap album in 2025. This is first day, first week, the biggest project to be released in 2025. To think Playboi Carti's name is attached to that is insane. A lot of people were saying, yo, Carti's been dragging out this album for God knows how long. He's losing his hype day by day. The more he delays, the more he lies, the more hype is gone. XYZ, this, that, and that. He lost 7 hours of streaming. Boom. Numbers are in. 300,000 cleared. 302 to be exact. That is insane, bro. To think Whole Lotta Red was a clean 100. He tripled that in the 5-year wait. And to see how big Carti has grown within these past 5 years, simply with no album, is just insane. Like, I feel like the only artist that could do that successfully, realistically, is Carti in my opinion. But 300K is insane. To be honest, I was thinking he was gonna do 250. I was saying he was gonna do 275 plus easy. I was like 300 might be a stretch. I don't really know how big this album really was going to be. I didn't know how many heads were going to pop out. I didn't know how many different people and different audiences and all people around from everywhere just wanted to tune into this album, right? But wow, the numbers for this project have been super insane. Like, I never would have thought iMusic was going to be this big. I knew the project was going to be huge and a lot of people were going to be talking about it, but to this magnitude, I did not expect this, to be quite honest. 300K cleared. Biggest rap debut of 2025 cleared. And then Rise of Carti goes to Twitter to say, pure streaming, no bundles. Because a lot of people were like, yo, Academic said he sold 143 with bundles, right? And it was said earlier within the week that Carti was projected to do 300 plus simply off streaming. So we're like, yo, 300 plus off streams alongside 143. Is he clearing 440? Is 400 plus a reality for Carti? That would have been insane. Unfortunately, that did not happen because the bundles were not shipped. But off streaming, 302 is insane. Metro and Future did like 250, 275. Weekend cleared him. He had bundles. XYZ, all these artists throughout 2025 so far, Carti cleared them with no bundles. That's insane. 300K first week simply off listens that's insane. I was not expecting that. Then they said if the bundles were shipped in time, he was gonna clear 450. Playboi Carti sold 300K with only streaming. Obviously, Carti dropped some more merch, those digital albums. So yeah, it looked like about 150 bundles in sales, 300 simply off music. I'm not gonna lie, Interscope, this is a major fumble. I'm not gonna lie. Carti popped out doing 450 first week. Who would have touched them? That is insane. This is a generational fumble from Interscope. And I'm not going to lie, this only means, for me, at least one thing. This means that Carti had to have turned in this album like last minute. It was a last minute decision. Maybe the label wasn't in the know that, yo, Carti is going to be dropping on the 14th. They maybe didn't have time to prepare. I don't know what went down for them not to ship these bundles, but that was a huge fumble. I'm not going to lie. And for the people who have bought all the merch, 6-7 months later, still with no merch is insane. I'm not gonna lie. I would have been crashed out. Thank God I did not buy the merch. But they missed out on 150,000 more sales, which is a huge bummer. That would have been insane. And to just put this in perspective in terms of rap as a whole, Bobbleland put out this post in terms of rap album first week sales, and then NFR podcast did the streaming numbers first week, right? So let's get into the album sales. Obviously, we do know Carti did 302, right? This is the top of the top in terms of album rap sales ever, I believe. Obviously not in the history of music, but to think that Carti has a top 5 first week sale in terms of the last decade is insane, right? Travis has the #1 spot. Utopia, 496. Drake for All the Dogs, 402. Then we got GNX. Carti did less than GNX. GNX did 319. And then Carti would be right under that with 302. Just slightly over Tyler's Chromacopia, but that's insane. A top 4 biggest first week sale in terms of rap is insane. And I've seen all of these TikToks in regards to like, is Carti a superstar? Is Carti in the same realm as a Drake, Kendrick, the top 3, J. Cole, Travis Scott, Future? Is he in that same realm? Now, technically and statistically, and I'd say in terms of the internet, I would say 1000%. The numbers do not lie. He's up there. He has a bigger first week than Tyler, J. Cole, Future, and Metro on a collab tape. He cleared all of these 3, right? So technically, he is a superstar in terms of numbers in terms, I'd say more so within the internet culture. But I was watching a lot of those TikToks and a lot of people were like, yeah, Carti is doing his thing, his big one on the internet. But in real life, do that many people know about Carti? In real life, if you go to a grocery store, you ask like your grandma, or you ask like your mom, or you ask this, that, and that, are they going to be knowing Carti's name just like how they know Kendrick? Is Carti going to be on the radio like they bump Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, Travis Scott, this, that, and that? I would say no, but I mean, in terms of 2025, the world is ran via the internet, right? So if you're a big rapper on the internet, technically Carti is a superstar. Yes, Carti is a superstar. I know a lot of people don't want to agree, like, this is what required to be a superstar. You have to be this, this, and this. But I mean, the numbers don't lie. He has a top 4 biggest album first week. And then we go into the first week streams, right? Because this is regards to album sales. This is first week streams. He did 490 million first week streams. The only rapper who did more than him was Drake. First week, you drop a project. Carti did 490 million streams. To think that Carti is at number 2, 559 million with Scorpion, then he went 497 with CLB. Carti's right there at 490 mil with music. And then Utopia has 40 million less streams first week. And then we've seen Carti compared to Utopia. First day streams, Carti wiped Travis. Carti, bro, this is crazy. And to think that the merch wasn't delivered, bro, that's the biggest fumble ever. If he did 450 with bundles, he would have had the second biggest first week ever, simply behind Utopia. He would have cleared For All the Dogs with about 48 million more. That's insane to think that this dude, Playboi Carti, from when we first, listened to Carti back in the day, Fetty, Broke Boy, Blue Crystals, Smash, Self-Titled, Die Lit, Leak Season, Whole Lotta Red, 5-year wait, we're here, music, 2025, to think and see Carti's just growth throughout all that time is just insane. Y'all can call that glazing, I really don't care. You simply just have to nod your head at Carti, because the growth and grind over this past 10 years has been insane to witness. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, Carti is going to be the next J. Cole, Travis Scott, Drake. He's going to be that next dude, and he's simply just right there. I've seen I Used to Be Pay or some other TikToker. They're like, yo, I don't think Carti's in like the big 3 conversations with like a Drake, Kendrick, Travis, but he's like right there. Like, he's inches away. Like, he's creeping. Like, he is that next dude who's going to enter that new category. It might be a crazy take to some, but for others, it's like, yeah, Carti is just like creeping slowly. And a lot of people are like, yo, Carti should have been dropped his album when he first started it in December of 2023. He should have dropped in January. Well, now looking back, that whole feature run, Camila Cabello, Future, Metro, all those features that he did ultimately paid off, because look where he is now. Look where all these streams are. Look where all these numbers are. Look at his name in 2025. Was this realistically the vision the whole time? Was Carti playing like chess and we were stuck playing like Connect 4 or checkers? Who really knows? But the growth over some time has been insane. Shout out Carti. He's the GOAT. He did his big one. Album of the year has been delivered. And I'm curious now to see what the second week is going to look like, because if the bundles do ship, then that's going to be counted towards the second week. And we've seen, I think Kendrick just did like 77K with GNX. Is Carti going to slowly, he did like what? 302. Is next week he gonna do like 250, 275? Third week he's doing about 220. Fourth week it's like at 100, and it's slowly, but he's still charting and going up every single week. The numbers on this project is insane. Realistically, we just gotta wait this out and see how this goes. But after 1 week of the album going by, nuts. Insane to see this number actually become a reality. Shout out Carti. If you guys like this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below, and I'm out. Thank you guys.